Um, Reed JD on Twitter, who I believe this is MrBeast's manager, he posted about this. I thought it was very interesting. He said, absolutely crazy year for MrBeast. Gained an average of 100,000 subscribers a day. 25% of his new subscribers are from the Squid Game video. It's crazy. First time in years, T-Series is not number one in growth. So I think this is interesting on multiple levels. So one is there's still a lot of people out there who don't know who MrBeast is. Especially like last year, nobody knew who he was. Like a lot of people like in the, call it in the real world, not in the YouTube world. So I think it's really interesting that he's growing so much. What do you think it is that's making him grow so much this year versus this past years? I mean, he's just had exponential growth. Well, what are your thoughts here?
YouTube marketing is fantastic with compounded growth. That's just especially with the kind of content that MrBeast promotes, right? I'm sharing my screen here, and I need to lead this off with this bit of news here, Matt, just because it's too epic not to point out right off the bat. But I got this tracker up on my screen right now that showed that just recently, probably late last night or early this morning, MrBeast surpassed 200 million subscribers amongst all of his channels. That is absolutely exceptional and incredible. His main channel has got a little over 92.5 million subscribers right now, and I can't wait to see what he does when he breaks 100 million on his main channel. He something that you and I talked about recently, and I'm going to share this on my screen too. He was recently on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, and you can't see the full episode obviously on YouTube because of Joe Rogan's deal with Spotify, but you can see this 15-minute clip. And you and I watched this entire episode, Matt. I'd be curious to get more of your feedback about it. I think it was painfully obvious that MrBeast, and I talked about it just earlier on in this chat that we're having, MrBeast was willing to go through the suck phase. He surrounded himself with people that were just as equally, if not more, obsessed with YouTube as he was. And all they did for like over 1,000 days was analyze YouTube content and figure it out how they were able to improve their own process, their own content creation ability. He also started young, right? So I don't know, maybe Marcus, maybe your boy is the very next MrBeast, because Marcus is starting out even younger than MrBeast did when he started out, right? So it's pretty obvious that MrBeast put in the reps. He's obsessed. And he even says in this conversation with Joe that he has a difficult time talking to anyone about anything other than YouTube because he's so obsessed and enjoys YouTube so much that he doesn't really know much about anything else. But he is clearly in a league of his own. If you haven't checked out some of his content, go check it out. His adaptation of what's that Netflix show? Tip of my tongue.
Squid Game.
Squid Games, yeah, his adaptation of Squid Games was incredible. Like that one YouTube video cost like $3.5 million to make. It's incredible.
And do you know that one video got more viewers than all of Netflix subscribers?
Yeah.
So it blew up. So for digital marketers out there, what MrBeast described about having a group of friends where all they did was obsess about YouTube was a mastermind. So, in our world, we call it a mastermind. Right. So basically he formed his own mastermind with other guys or girls, people that were doing YouTube, and they just talked about YouTube all the time. Now, the other big thing is that, he talks a lot about how he invests all of his money back into his videos. So that's another big thing. But if you're a believer in karma and goodwill, last year at some point, he started MrBeast Philanthropy. Yeah. And he started feeding a lot of people in rural areas in America. And because I'm a big believer in karma and just, doing good things, I feel like that did some impact, whether it was, just, good vibes in the world, or just, a lot of people there really appreciating the fact that, he's giving away free food. Maybe they were more inclined to share and watch his videos or whatever. But I just love, and he also did the ocean cleanup with, what's his name? Don't forget his name, because he was the one who organized it, right? Mark Rober.
That's it.
Mark
Thank
Rober.
you. Yes.
Yeah. Because I noticed that everyone kept crediting MrBeast, but I think Mark Rober is the one who kind of put it together, and MrBeast really backed it up, right? So they just did so much goodwill, and that's what I really love. So one thing with Marcus being 6 years old, starting YouTube, I'm trying to help him find his voice and be able to speak confidently. So I worked with him a lot on just being able to vocalize what he's saying and, that sort of thing. But I don't put him in the videos because he's still young. And I don't know whether or not when he's older, he's going to want to be in the videos, but he'll at least have that opportunity. He's going to be, he'll know that he can make videos, at any point. He's going to have a channel. He's going to know what he can do. Right. But I really love the goodwill. Like I would love for him to be, if he starts making money with it or whatever, to be doing something good for the community, for society and like that sort of thing. I just think it builds so much goodwill and just, good vibes all around. So my feeling on this with his huge growth this last year and the fact that just last year he started MrBeast Philanthropy and all he's done with that, I feel like that plays into it at some, whether it be like, as I'm saying, like spiritually, or just maybe it changed him and how he feels about creating content or whatever it is. I'm just very happy for him. I think he's a great role model for kids and adults and YouTubers in general.